Why would the government bail them out? Because if that commodities market locks up in the US and one of these banks goes into default on their commodities contract, the short banks, it could start a cascading bank default across the entire US banking system. It could eventually crash the Treasury and the dollar market. And I think the US government has been intervening. The Chinese government's been intervening. It's like a war of East and West. Yep. But I think the one advantage the US government has is a printing press, and they're going to print a bazooka amount of dollars to prevent that from happening. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be a default, but it just means that it's not necessarily going to happen tomorrow. And people need to understand that just because somebody wants it to happen, it may not. And one more thing I want to say, 4 years ago, the end of January and beginning of February 2021, we had something called silver squeeze. The original silver squeeze was American generalist investors who don't normally buy physical investing in SLV, which is an ETF. In SLV, you can't get the metal unless you're one of these big market makers called an authorized participant. So they were never going to see it. And so all the silver that supports SLV used to be in London. So basically they ran London out of silver, but they got bailed out and nothing really happened. And the CFTC came in and admitted at the Boca V conference, which is still out on YouTube if you want to see it, Rostin Benham, who was the interim CFTC chairman or president, I forget what he is, commissioner, sorry, said we stopped it at 30 to support the market, meaning we didn't want, it was like an upside circuit breaker. They didn't want it to break out too much because it might have robbed all the silver. So they literally stopped trading at 30 bucks. He admitted it. He even admitted exactly how they did it in public. So they're going to defend those markets from breaking. And what I said 4 years ago, which didn't make me terribly popular, almost 5, it'll be 5 in January, which didn't make me terribly popular was until people bought enough physical silver to drain it, it wasn't going to happen.